All right, everyone, welcome into an NBA DFS live stream. Testing this out right now, so if there's any glitches, please let me know. I'm not sure about the quality as well. I'm just testing this out for the first time to see if it's going to be a reliable option that I can go with. I'm actually trying out a new software today, so just doing a test run today. We got a lot of comments coming in, so I'm excited for it. And a lot of people are saying they couldn't hear. Just pulling it up. That's because I had the starting screen going. Okay, so let me know if you still can't hear, and if that's the case, I'll adjust it. But I'm pretty sure that's just because it was the starting soon screen. Oh man, need a 6 leg to hit today. Good luck. Good luck. I'll go through the process today, and we'll see if we can find some bets that I like. But we'll see there. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get a 6 leg bet. I mean, that's very difficult to hit, obviously. I do want to start out with some NHL, so let's get into it. So looking at NHL, this is going to be the best spot that we have as it sits right now. And I find it very curious. And I think it's because it's a big 10 game slate. NBA's back. They are not able to adjust as fast as they typically had been. Okay, so that's going to be probably why we're seeing such a big edge. And NBA-wise, we're getting some good ones. College basketball, we're getting some good ones. This is literally what we've been waiting for. I start out every video pretty much with today's board, this section here, and it was like frustrating for 4 or 5 days. I don't know if you guys could see that coming through, but it was frustrating because I want to give out the best props, and they were just so tight. And it does seem like that's the case Monday through Tuesday as well. It is what it is. Can't control the board. But today, we have a good board. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So shots on goal is the one I typically like to use just because looking at it, it's kind of like receptions in NFL in the sense that it's kind of predictable, okay? So that's what I'm going for here. And guys, I'll try to get to the comments if there's any questions in there. I'll try to get to those at the end of like each segment here. I'll pull them up randomly as well. But looking at David Perron, under 2.5 shots on goal. And this is like the best one that we're getting right now. This is going to be like the earlier NHL props that we were getting. This is at minus 155 for the under across all the sports books. The over is set at plus 110. So on paper, we can see that this is going to be a pretty good bet that we should be looking at. And as always, I'd like to pull it up here on DraftKings Sportsbook just for comparison reasons. So let me just pull it up here. Shots on goal. And so the reason why I switched to this new live stream software is I hope that the internet connection's fine. I hope it's a little bit faster. We'll see. There is a winter storm right now going on where I'm at, guys. So if it is glitching, if the quality is not as good, it could be because of that as well. But looking at, I'd love to see this. Okay, so DK Sportsbook does have it set at minus 155. That is huge, right? I'd love when we get a consistent message between the sports books. And so that's what we're getting right now. So this is looking like the best bet we're going to get. And so if I had to do a today's bet to start off, there's one other bet that we could use with this. And obviously we're just chasing the best odds. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull up the next one as well. I can read my handwriting here. One sec. There we go. Now, typically, I don't like to chase these ones too much, the 1.5 shots on goal too much, but this one is one that is looking pretty good. Now, we'd be betting the over here, okay? So it'd be more than 1.5 shots on goal. The over is set at minus 150 across the sportsbooks on average. Now, once again, let's just use DK Sportsbook as a comparison. They might not have this one up yet, or I just can't spell. Okay, so yeah, they actually don't have this one up. So that does kind of worry me as well. So when I was pulling this in, it was coming from, let me just look here on my screen. I believe it's coming from 3 different ones. Yes. Okay. FanDuel, PointsBet, and one other one. Okay. So that's good. Camera's looking crispy. I like it. Good. Good. That is good to hear. Good. All right. I am not located here. No, I am in the Midwest, Wisconsin. Hence all the Badger stuff and Buck stuff as well. Okay, so I'll get into the Jared Allen and Miles Turner here in the NBA section. Okay, so I'll get into that in a second. I'm laughing at this comment. That's hilarious. Hey, it could be a worse face. It could be a worse face, I would say. I did just shave. I mean, come on. But let's go ahead and get into some other NHL bets that we were getting. They're going to be good. So the first one, under. Minus 155 for the under. The second one, over. But we don't have DraftKings Sportsbook to compare to. And like I said, that is a consistency thing that I like. I like to have like the same message each and every day. To me, that creates some sort of consistency. And so maybe wait until it comes out, but I think the line could change as the day progresses. And obviously we can't really control how the line changes throughout the day, right? We just gotta hope that they go our favor. And let's just pull up the ones from this morning just for that reason, for comparison purposes. And let's see. Oh, this one as well. Jeff Skinner's fine. Over 2.5 shots on goal. I believe that one's still there. Not exactly sure, though. Which one? I don't even remember the ones from this morning. Connor McDavid was one that was out there for a little bit. That one went away pretty fast. Oh, yeah, it was this one. So we're still minus 145 there. That's still a good number. Not as good as the minus 150 number that we were getting, but pretty good. And then the other one's minus 145 as well. So that is good to see. But yeah, Erik Karlsson here. Okay. If we look across the sports books on average, we're seeing minus 143 to get over. Okay. And I think the reason that is because he's been terrible the last 3 games. That's probably why they're going to be favoring it. And I think if we pull it up here, I'm actually curious. And this is where I hope my internet's not going in and out here. We see that loading screen. It was just for that player. Good. All right. So lately, yeah, just hasn't had the shots on goal lately. And I think that's kind of why they're suggesting that the over is going to hit today, just for the simple fact that, regression to the mean. We're expecting some positive regression to get back towards what he typically does. And so I would say that's probably why they're favoring it. As always, let's go ahead and pull it up here. Just make sure that number is still there. Guy's got a good name, except for it has a K at the end as well. It's kind of unfortunate. Oh, minus 150 still on DraftKings Sportsbook. We are getting a good message there. So I love the consistency there. And what's awesome as well, plus 110. Okay, so plus 120 here. Across all the sportsbooks on average, plus 110. So typically speaking, DraftKings is the one that's the tightest when I'm looking at this stuff. And that's kind of why I like to use them. And then the last one, and I don't love this one. We're getting a decent number on it. So you can use it if you want to, but obviously we're just chasing the numbers. And in the long term, this is going to pay off. And I'm actually going to do a breakdown video, kind of describing this process in depth. I feel like most people watching these videos know, but at the same time, there's a lot of new people coming in. PrizePicks, Underdog is a very fun thing to play, right? We all enjoy playing it. And so I want to put out that video, even though it's been covered. But I think I can do it in a simple way, in a fast way, to just explain kind of the basic process of why we chase these good odds. So looking at Jordan under 3.5 shots on goal, and this is minus 145. Okay. So another decent one. I don't like it personally, but hey, good odds, right? We're chasing the good odds there. So now let me see if there's any questions in here, and then I'll try to answer those as they come in. So let's just see here. Okay, so we got some Jared Allen, Miles Turner. We'll answer those questions in just a second. Would you recommend Perron? Yeah. So definitely. So this is a good question here. So yeah, we're getting some really good numbers. So I kind of mentioned that this morning, and this is one of those situations where if it doesn't work out, you're really mentally should be okay with it, because minus 155, I think that's 62% likelihood to hit. If we take out the juice, I think it would be, doing this off the top of my head, 57% chance to hit. And so obviously with the Luka free square, you're essentially giving yourself a 57% chance to profit off of that bet. So that's a pretty good one. So yeah, I would say that. All right, so I'm going to transition here into the NBA bets to kind of cover these ones. Let's see here. There it is. So I want to just pull this up on my sheet here, just to see if it's pulling in the same way. I'll pull it up here in just a second. Here we go. Let's see. I need to zoom this one in. Okay. That works, right? There we go. So I'm not seeing this one just yet. So points, 17.5. Let's see here. So the question is under 17.5 points, minus 145, DK Sportsbook. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, in theory, it should be. Let's see. Rebounds, kind of favoring the under. Let me pull that one up. So did that number adjust? I'm guessing that number changed because I have it at 16.5. Maybe that's the number that you got earlier today. If that's the case, yeah, you're staying pretty if they move the line down. Let me just pull it up here as well. Okay. Oh, it's points. Oh, yeah. So, no, I probably am not touching. I get the question now. I'm probably not touching that one. Okay. Just minus 145 on DK Sportsbook. That's a good number, right? That's a really good number, I guess. I get the question. On average, though, we see the line is set at 16.83 across the sportsbook. And that's kind of why I like to pull in all of them. I'm pulling in PointsBet, FanDuel, BetMGM, and DraftKings into this projection right here. And so the under is definitely the one to go with. Yeah, that's not a bad bet. If you want to make that bet, by all means, you can. It is one that makes sense. As you can tell, it's not one that personally stuck out to me right away, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that approach at all. And then let's see, Jared Allen over 14.5 points. Man, I totally forgot about how much of a stud Jared Allen was. Now that you mentioned that. Obviously, after the trade. And I know this is going to sound weird, but isn't it kind of crazy how, better the Nets got on the side of the basketball? It's kind of crazy. But Jared Allen, 14.5 points. Match with Denver, I guess you have to worry about foul trouble a little bit. I also have to worry about Mobley a little bit as well. Averages 14.7. Let's see if he has a match with Denver. 13 there. Kind of a bad night shooting for a big. Yeah, if it stays close, let's see the spread. Close spread, high scoring game. Yeah, I don't mind that. Let's see if I have him projected here. Interesting here. So the average sportsbook line is set at 15.5. So at that number, the under would be the move. But PrizePicks is setting it at 14.5. So what are we shooting for if we're making that bet? 15 points, right? That's the message that's being told to us right there. So decent there. And then just real quick, let's see if we have any other questions here. Any good Jason Tatum plays? Any two power plays? Hey, Robert here. I would say the first NHL bets, the Perron, and I believe it was, I don't want to butcher the last name, Alexander. Perron under, shots on goal, and then it was over 1.5 for Alex. Okay. Any good Jason Tatum plays? Let's look it up. And then so once I get through these questions, I'm going to go ahead and actually get into like the plays that I've written down here. Hopefully they didn't change. Let's see. So over. No big edges there for the over. No unders. So no, I would say Tatum's probably correct. Let's maybe just check fantasy points just to be for sure. No, he's properly projected. It seems like today for Tatum. All right, so all right, I'm going to stop here with the questions. I'll get back into the rest of them in just a second here, just to keep up the pace of the video. But I'll come back to them. All right. And yes, there are some college basketball picks that I'll get into right after the NBA segment. All right. College basketball can be pretty unpredictable. Yesterday, I'm a Badger fan. Steven Krall getting like 3 rebounds, and then Wall getting like 12. Like, God, like what is that? Share the wealth there, Tyler Wall. That was annoying. And isn't it worse like when you bet on one of your teams, like feel pretty good about one, and then they just hurt you? That actually happened to me today in golf. Like Billy Horse is one of my favorite players. Dude just totally hurt me. And I actually had a first round lead bet on the guy that's currently second at 70-1. I was like, Billy Horse, if you can just bogey this hole, like you're forgiven for hurting me in PrizePicks. And he didn't. So it's going to be a chopped up 35-1 outright hit, which is great, but it's annoying too. So this one, I want to bring up this one, Caldwell Pope. Okay. Because this morning I'm like, what is going on with this line? This is such a strange line. And so I figured it out. So if we pull up his like per 36 numbers with Aaron Gordon off the court, who I believe he's still questionable. I don't know if he got ruled out or not. Let me just double check that real quick. Yes, he's ruled out. Okay. And they are going to be without Bones Highland as well. So if you look at the per 36 numbers for KCP with both Bones Highland off and Aaron Gordon off the court, he actually does get a big bump in points. It's about 4.9 points per 36. And so he averages 17.1 points per 36, which small sample size, don't get me wrong, but that is why we're seeing some discrepancies in this line. Okay. And so that's kind of probably why it's favoring the over, because the per 36 numbers are favoring that. And that's kind of why I want a way to pull in the per 36 numbers in there as well. I haven't figured out a way to do that, but I want to figure out a way to do that in an efficient manner. Like it would take too much time to update all that stuff. So that one's probably just to stay away. I do like the per 36 numbers. I do wish the projection was favoring that as well due to an increase in minutes or something like that, but we're just not seeing it. So Jaden Ivey, this is an okay one, but we can see like not a big edge there, right? Another one, J-Val, like no edge there. So like these are the ones that are unfortunate where, we're getting decent over odds, but the projections aren't matching up. I want them to be matching up with what we're, projecting. So like Al Horford, and I don't like betting on Al Horford, but kind of looks like a good one. Okay. Someone asked about Jaylen Brown, I believe. Yeah, so like points, rebounds, and assists could be the way to go. But I feel like if you're doing that, might as well do fantasy points over at that point. Get an assist or steal if the spread isn't too much. And now, guys, this is why I had Banchero as the cover boy, because literally it's the best one that we're getting. And I'm actually curious if we are still getting this one. Okay, so we are. Let me just double check those rebounds again. Yes. Okay, so he's projected to get 7.13. So a slight edge, but I like the fact that the under odds on average minus 142 for the under there. That's pretty big. I don't get why this isn't pulling in right now while I'm going live. I think my internet can't handle the live stream and all the data that I have going on right now. So apologies, I can't pull up that graphic. Let me just make sure. I just like to double check before putting it out there. So let's see. Yeah, so like DK Sportsbooks is a little bit different. Like I said, they are typically tighter, minus 125. So like that to me, like it is a good bet on paper. Like I like it. If we are trying to make an NBA bet, this is probably the strongest one that we're getting to me. Don't love it though. The one that I mentioned earlier, though, the Miles Turner one that was brought up in the comments, don't mind that one either. All right, let's see any other ones here. So Siakam's still a decent one. That's okay. I'm going to get into some fancy point ones. And these haven't really adjusted throughout the day too much. I don't get Aaron Naismith. I don't get why the data every single day it loves it for some reason. I don't get it. Al Horford as well. Like, man, I don't get it. So I do NBA DFS videos on Occupy Fantasy. If you guys haven't checked them out, make sure to check them out. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers on their channel as well. We're close to that. But like literally the data on their site as well is like these two players are always popping up. So for some reason, NBA DFS data just likes these two players every single day. I don't really get it. It's crazy. But I do think Michael Porter Jr. could be a good bet because with Aaron Gordon out, with Bones Highland not there, like he should be, in theory, a good bet. I like the fact that the projections are suggesting that he's going to get over. Like that's big to me. And I'm trying to pull up his per 36 numbers here as well. 20.8 points per 36. Just points. Fantasy points, 35 fantasy points per 36. Okay, that's pretty huge, right? Okay, and we are getting this right now. So we look at his average up. We look at based off of the opponent should be there. And then the projection, slightly lower, but still a pretty good one. I don't know why we're getting that line. It's a weird one. And let me just look at the game again just to see. Is it because of the game? And guys, at the end of this video, if you guys enjoyed this type of coverage, let me know in the comment section of the video, the comments, not the chat, because this is something that I want to do in the mornings as well, because like those NHL bets, instead of the video processing for, 40 minutes total between like a couple of edits that I have to do and then exporting and uploading it and then having to process on YouTube, that's another hour people can get those really good lines. So if this is a viable option, please let me know in the comment section. But yeah, looking at this game, like it's not a bad game. So I don't, let me just double check again here. I don't really get why we're getting this good line. The minutes thing recently, am I missing that? No, he's been productive lately. Jamal Murray being back potentially. Cleveland, obviously two bigs. It is, a tougher matchup. Seems low. And even this number kind of seems low. Obviously, given the per 36 numbers. And let me just pull this up again. I want to see what he did last time out against them. And that could be the reason why. Okay, so that's probably the reason why. 16 points in that game, 5 for 13, 3 for 8. That's still not terrible. And I'm just curious, did Aaron Gordon play in that game? He did. So that's kind of huge to me. We get Michael Porter Jr. without Aaron Gordon. That's pretty interesting. So he doesn't need that much more production this game, and he should get a bigger bump. And if I just look up his per 36 numbers with Aaron Gordon and Bones Highland off the court, and Denver's tough this year, guys, because they've had a revolving door for their minutes. He does only see about a 2%, not 2%, 2 points bump in fantasy points per 36 with them off the court. And so let me just see what minutes he's projected to get. 32. So it could be a little bit tighter than the data is suggesting. But I like that one. Let's see here. Any other ones? Like I still like Jaren Jackson. I'm fine with that one. Like it does seem like the fantasy ones are the potential biggest edges, but I kind of caution people against doing these second half NBA bets, and are they still there? Just because I feel like we don't have a proper gauge of teams at this current moment, given the fact that teams are doing contract buyouts. We saw a lot of trades. Teams are going to be tanking more now. If players are injured, they're probably just not going to play. Lonzo Ball, for example, out for the season now. Kind of expected that, but now it's confirmed. Like that stuff can continue to happen. And then playoff teams. Some teams are going to be gearing up to make the playoffs, and that'd probably be the biggest edge there is find a team that's on the bubble and chase one of their stars, because obviously they're going to try to make it. But who knows? Like, oh, maybe the GM's like, it's not our year. Why chase making the playoffs? Why chase being on the playoff bubble? Let's tank. That's what makes it tough. And then playoff teams, they might just rest their starters, for instance. Or for the Milwaukee Bucks, for instance, they're finally healthy. So maybe they're trying to get their team chemistry going. It could be all that stuff mixed in together. So I'm going to get into some questions here, and we got a lot. So I apologies if I miss any, guys. I'm truly sorry if I do. LeBron rebounds and assists is like minus 170, I think. Let's pull that up and see, because that's a great number. Player combos. It'd be a really great number there. It can't be. That just seems wrong. I'm sorry. It's assists and rebounds. Sorry, assists and rebounds. Once again, guys, this is my first time using this software out, so just trying to figure out the usage and functionality of it. So if it's a little off, I apologize. Jeez. All right, so is it still at this? Let's see. It's 13.5. I mean, that's still not bad. 14, and it's set at 13.5. That's not terrible. I don't mind that. Especially against Golden State. Let's look at the game. Decently high-scoring game. Potential for a blowout risk. That's interesting. Lakers favored by 6. Oh, D'Angelo Russell revenge game. Heck yes. Interesting find. I don't mind that. Obviously, I'd never like playing for the push, and especially because it is rebounds and assists and not points. It is more likely to be a push then, but that's all right. I'll pull this up. I'm liking that Embiid over 3.5 assists and Fox over 10.5 rebounds. Let's see why. Okay, so this got bumped. No, it was assist. Okay, assist. Yeah, that's interesting. Isn't it crazy how much like Tobias Harris has fallen off? I kind of feel bad for him. I kind of wish, why would they trade him? But I kind of wish for his sake he would have got traded. Let's see if we have him projected at all. Obviously not one that really stood out, but we never know. Let's see. Oh, I didn't pull. It's not pulling in a line there. Oh, no, it's 0. Okay, prop line difference is 0. That's good. Favoring the over at minus 118 on average. That's good. Averages 4.1. That's good. Projected at 4.23. Not a bad find there. Not an elite one. Obviously, the NBA lines that we're getting today are tight, but that's not bad. I don't mind that call. Now, obviously, I don't know. I don't like seeing them be over it like 4 out of the past 5 games. I want it to be like 3 out of 2 or 3 out of 5. Just given like, natural regression and whatnot. It always scares me a little bit. I don't think I have any pulling in for De'Aaron Fox, unfortunately. Steals. That's it. So that just tells me that the lines I was pulling in didn't match. That's all. So what was it? 10 rebounds and assists for De'Aaron Fox. Let's see. It seems like a lot to me just right off the bat. That's nice. We're getting an even push there against Portland. That's not terrible. I think I'm going to stick away from that one. Okay, so college basketball picks. We will get into that. And this is funny. This is funny. The over made too much sense. And so this is a funny comment just about college basketball. I'll get into that right now. And I kind of wish there was a way to like put in some sort of if-then statement. And this is obviously why PrizePicks is really good and kind of sometimes how they can trap you. It's like if Crawl didn't get there last night, it's pretty obvious that, I shouldn't say obvious, it would have been foul trouble, or what happened was wall went off. And so I kind of wish we could have bet for that as well. But that's why you can't do the same team one, or you have to add in another bet, which obviously reduces your likelihood to cash. But let's get into some college basketball bets. Matt, live. Yeah, I'm trying to go live more. I've been trying to for quite a while. It just finally made sense today. So let's get into some of these college basketball props. And I got 3 written down. There's plenty more out there. If you guys have any, put them in the comment section below. I'll try to highlight them, and we'll see. Obviously, that's the best part about covering this stuff is that we can all win. Like, we are trying to beat PrizePicks. We're trying to beat Underdog, and that's what's huge to me. And that brings up a whole separate point. Let me pull up Underdog real quick. And like DFS wise, it kind of sucks. Like, especially with my fantasy golf stuff, sometimes it's like kind of have to keep some of the stuff a little bit closer to the chest than I would want to, because we're playing against each other for like DraftKings, FanDuel. And that's honestly what sucks, especially in terms of like content creation. That's why I enjoy covering this so much more. Looking at some of the NHL props, and I apologize, should have pulled this up when we were doing that. Just for example purposes, the Jordan prop, it was at 3.5 on PrizePicks. We're seeing it at 3. So that tells me that, Underdog typically much tighter. They're taking that one away pretty much. They don't want you to make that prop. And then let's see if Perron's even there. So Perron's at 2 shots on goal. On PrizePicks, it's 2.5. That was the best one that we were getting. Not getting the other one. Other one that was minus 150. And then let's look at Erik Karlsson, see if we're getting that one. Erik Karlsson, also not there. 3 shots on goal. Or sorry, it is there. 2.5 shots on goal. That was messing me up. I apologize. So that, I guess you could do that one on Underdog as well. But I kind of, it's just another way to verify how strong a bet is if Underdog has taken it away. All right, so now getting into college basketball props. So this is kind of what I mean, where I'm not sure his average. Let me just try to Google search that real quick. The average points scored, but I bet he's been under his average for quite a while. I'm assuming that. 16.5 points, averages 16.5 points. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I mean. It's like, I think we're getting such a strong number, and the number here is going to be minus 145 to get over 6.5 points. And so it's kind of the fact that he hadn't done that in 4 of the past 5 games. It's like they're pretty much expecting him to get closer to his average. And so I'm going to pull this one up here as well, just to see the spread of the game. And we can see minus 145 here on DK Sportsbook. Good number. I'm curious about the game spread there. Kind of a decent scoring game, especially for Big Ten basketball. We'd take that. I'm fine with that. So, okay one. And these are just, trying to give you guys some more decent lines that we're seeing. So here's another one that was decent. I saw it was at minus 135. An okay bet. Not one that I love too much. Just given the odds, obviously. Let's see what they have and still projected at. So this one went down on DK Sportsbook as well. On average across the Sportsbook, it was minus 135. Probably not doing this one. Then the last one that was decent that I saw prior to going live. And full disclosure, I definitely spent the least amount of time with the college basketball props. I just pulled up which ones were the best lines that we were getting. And so Jaden Clark over 5.5 rebounds at minus 145. And so that's going to be the next best bet that we're getting. And so it's still there, which is kind of nice. And I'm going to Google search this one again as well, just to make sure. If its average isn't over this, I'm probably not touching it. So he averages 6.4 rebounds. So a fine number, which is fine. Against Utah earlier this season, 5 rebounds. So that's probably the worry there. That's all right. Away games, he averages 6.5 rebounds. So an okay bet. Okay. All right. Let's see if I can catch up on the comments here. There's a lot of comments. I appreciate you guys being in here. This is pretty awesome. Pretty darn awesome. So yeah, Carlson minus 145 for the over. If you guys play on Underdog, you can make that there as well. Okay. So that's a fine bet. And if you guys do play on Underdog, or if you don't and want to, the reason that you play on Underdog is the payout, and I'm just going to do a random one. The payout for a bet is better for a 3-leg bet. So I never try to do a 3-leg bet on PrizePicks. I'll do it on here. I'll literally come here to see if I can do it. And so if you guys want to, I am a partner with them. So the link is in the description below for that. It's a 100% match on a deposit of up to $100. Really just helps me out and gives you guys a free bonus as well. Tatum free throws. I'm not touching free throws. I don't love free throws tonight, but hey, 2 people are saying Tatum free throws is a lock. So let's pull that one up. Why are we thinking it's a lock? Why are they including this? Okay, so I get why people sometimes get annoyed a little bit with PrizePicks for stuff like this, because this is very misleading. Who cares about one free throw in the All-Star game, right? Like, it doesn't matter. And like college basketball, they'll sometimes be off as well. Yeah, so the KCP one's just interesting because it is a good number. At the same time, it could be a trap in the sense that this is literally just my projections. So take that for what it's worth. If you guys don't like them, that's fine. I wouldn't be offended at all. I haven't projected like 9-8 points. But if you look, it's per 36 numbers with Aaron Gordon and with Bones Highland out there, does average like 16 points. So like, which data point are we going off of? And if I were to include that data point in there, I'm sure his projection would actually be over 9.5 points. It'd probably be closer to 10. So it's not a bad, it's a good line. Obviously we can chase the line there if we want. Another Tatum one, 0.5 blocks. So the only time, and this is just the me thing. So the only time that I like to do the blocks one is really with the blocks and steals. And so if you guys feel like that's a good one, you can do that. I don't like to do both of them, or I don't like to do them individually. I like to combine the two. That's just a me thing. So it doesn't matter. And I don't know about you guys, but I went pretty hard today lines wise. This is probably the most vested I've been in a slate ever. And so I hope those NHL lines are good, or else it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a tough morning video tomorrow. So we got this one again. LeBron rebounds and assists. I'm fine with that one. That's fine. Donovan Mitchell. This is the second time we've gotten this question this week, actually. 1.5 blocks and steals. I don't mind either. You know, I see why people like this one. I don't mind this one, actually. It's all right. Just for me with the props for NBA, if they're not like standing out to me, I don't want to chase them too much. And I'll typically just go with the fantasy points instead. So we do have a question about fantasy points. So I'll get into that real quick. Let's see what Jalen Williams is at for fantasy points. There we go, 26 against Utah. Let me pull up his projection. I thought he was like standing out projection wise, but I don't remember. Whether that was a good thing or a bad thing, we'll see. Yeah, today, guys, I went pretty hard prop wise, just with all the good lines we're getting for NHL. In theory, it's the correct move. Kind of wish we were getting those on Taco Tuesday. I don't get why that's pulling in weird for. That's weird. Let's see here. Averages 25 or so. Line set 26. Averages 29 minutes. Projected to get 32. So slight bump. Is projected to get slightly over. A decent edge there, but not perfect. My biggest worry with a prop like this is the fact that the Thunder are healthy. I know Alexei is still out. That's fine. But they got Robinson Earl back. Okay, and I wonder if they're going to try to force some minutes to him. And then maybe the minutes just get spread out a little bit more. And then maybe Jalen Williams doesn't get the 32 minutes that he's projected to get. Now, he has been getting a lot more minutes, and if those minutes are there, should be able to get over, right? So if you are making the bet on the over, well, it's a bet on the game because Utah. And then it's also just a bet on the minutes, which projected to get around 32, 33 minutes. If he gets that, yeah, should be able to get the over. Let's see what he did last time against Utah if they have that. Not seeing that. Yeah, I mean, not terrible. I think we get better fancy point props out there. They just bump on. Okay, so everyone was hammering that. All right. Franz Wagner over 3.5 assists. I know I just butchered his name there. Wagner. A little bit better. The amount of names that I say per day is insane. If you'd have told my college self you'd be pronouncing all these foreign names, I'd be like, wow, you're lying. Against Detroit. No, so I can't play Orlando players just in general right now. The minutes are just tough to predict. That's my biggest issue with them. So let's just get into that. And he has been playing pretty well recently. They're just not getting enough minutes, though. 32, 33. Like, if we were consistently getting 36 minutes from them, yeah, we'd like that. That obviously a couple more minutes. That's maybe a couple more passes to a player to get a shot up. Then, it's really just a bet on him getting a lot of minutes. And against Detroit, you would think so, right? I'm kind of struggling with that one. Let's see. Last time against him, 3 assists. So not encouraging there. Was a blowout, only 29 minutes. I kind of like Markelle Fultz. I have my eye on him just second half wise, just to see what he does. Lunch break. That's a late lunch break there. And I appreciate that. Nice. All right, so these are like from 20 minutes ago. Holy crap. I'm trying to pick this up. Jokic points wasn't popping for me. How do you feel about Fox points? Let me see. Fox points. I don't remember that one at all. The Jokic one I kind of remember. Let's see. And after these questions, I'll be getting out of here. I'm probably staying away from Fox. Although I get the appeal. That's not one I would talk you out of. Let's put it that way. Guys, that's the toughest part about content creations. Obviously, people are asking questions for a reason. I never want to talk someone out of a bet that they're potentially making, right? Because obviously they're asking it for a reason I might not know that reason. Preston live stream. Yeah, we're back. Trying it out. Yeah, the fantasy points for Jalen Williams. Are you going over college basketball bets? So I went over a couple of college basketball bets. We have some decent ones. Just touch on those real quick. So like looking at the over points, this was minus 145 here. Just a decent one that we got there. And then the next best one that I like would be Clark over 5.5 rebounds. And it's just the simple fact that you kind of expect them to get back to their average or closer to their average. Both of them lately have not hit that, and they're both basically projected at what their average is. So the expectation, and I think that's why those lines are out there at minus 145, is that they get over. Ingram over points. I don't remember that one popping either. I believe, aren't they healthy, right? Healthy-ish, I should say. Zion's still not there. I know that. But JVal's there. Ingram's there. No, against Toronto, that's a tough matchup. Probably not. Let's see. What is the average on this season? And I could pull up the projection board. I'm trying to pick up the pace here. Averages 22.4. So are we seeing a new norm from Brandon Ingram or not? That's the question. Because that's what this suggests, right? Been over the last 5 games. Probably not. And especially against a matchup with Toronto, you probably staying away from that one. Not that bad. Your boy sold yesterday on the glass. He did. That was frustrating. That was frustrating there. It was. And honestly, guys, my record for betting on my teams is bad. The Bucks and the Badgers just not very good. Run with these, nice. Did I show my locks? So I never use the word locks. I just don't like to encourage that, if that makes sense. Like, I'm just trying to give you guys the information to put out like the best bets you can, like educate you guys on the best bets that are out there for the day based off of the lines or based off of the projections. So I gave a bunch of ones out today based off of the lines that we're getting NHL wise. I did that at the start of the video. I'm not sure if they're still out there. Those were going to be for the NHL props. And it just seems like they're not able to catch up with the good lines that are out there right now. So Perron's still out there. I'm not sure if that line is still the same for shots on goal for Perron. Let's see. And that's like the biggest risk for me with something like NHL where I don't have the knowledge base I would like to for it. And that's why I'm really just tracing the odds. So I can't tell if a line's fishy or not. With like NBA, I can do that. NFL, pretty easy. PGA, really easy. I can't do that with NHL as much so, but we can see like this one's still minus 155, so that's still a good one. Have no idea if that's going to change or not, but a decent line that we're getting there. I have no idea for this question. Apologies. I just no knowledge on that one, so I can't really help you there. So what you got for NBA? I kind of mentioned what I got for NBA. The Banchero one was really the best one that we're getting for NBA, and then it's just hammering some fantasy points. I think we're getting the best fantasy point numbers that we're going to get for probably a while on a lot of these players. So that's kind of the route I'm going. It's kind of what I'm most comfortable with. I kind of mentioned Michael Porter Jr. being a decent one. Hachimura, let's see here. Rebounds. I didn't even see this one pop up. And maybe this is something where after this video, I'm going to push an update on this board. So it might be something that pulls up there after, because obviously that's the late night game. Ooh, they got Horton Tucker. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to have to look at this. Clarkson, Horton Tucker, those are two players that I was looking at DFS-wise today. Hachimura. Let's see. Obviously, AD and LeBron are both back tonight. And, like, guys, I just want to warn you against chasing a number like this. Like, a lot of people will see green 5 days in a row and be like, I need to make that bet. He's hit it 5 days in a row. It's like the blackjack rule. Just because it's been on red 5 straight times doesn't mean you should bet black. You know, it's kind of that rule. But I'm curious. That one does kind of stick out. And I like this, guys. Like, I feel like there hasn't been a single bad question or prop presented. That's pretty awesome. Scroll down. So let's see. Minus 125. That's okay. Do I have him projected for anything? Let's see. And so, guys, this is basically if we don't have enough lines on average across the sportsbook, it's not going to pull it in. And so that's why it might not be pulling in. Or when I did this refresh We might not have had the PrizePicks lines. Yeah, so this just populated, so I'll have to refresh that after this video. Let's see here. I'm curious about the Clarks, and then I'll be getting out of here pretty shortly. Clarkson, any fantasy score? Decent against the Thunder. So he averages like 40 points per 36. And really, this is a play that you'd make based off of the Thunder, right? I don't mind that. Let's see Horn Tucker, though. I feel like there's some bet to be made here for Clarkson. And then Horn Tucker might be the best one, though. No fancy points. That sucks. Probably could go points, rebounds, and assists. I was hoping we'd get some fantasy points for him. That would have been nice. All right, let's see. All right, so college basketball. All right. Yeah, Pascal under 5.5 was the move. Hopefully, right? Let's hope. Let's hope that hits. Yeah, I hope I can continue the live streams as well here. I think that'd be nice to do. We'll try to. It's for sure. It's a timing thing. Yeah, the lines are moving pretty fast today as a whole, but it's a big slate, so they're kind of just playing catch up. Let's see here. Best picks for tonight. This was 13 minutes ago. I try to cover the best picks as they come up. Appreciate it, Travis. Honestly, guys, I get these comments a decent amount, and literally every single time I get them, it's awesome. Like, it really does actually mean a lot to me that people are going out of their way to say stuff like that. That's pretty awesome. So I appreciate you guys. I really do. And obviously, I just enjoy covering this and finding the best lines possible, and hopefully the best prop bets, right? And if not, I like to at least cover why, and so you guys can decide for yourselves if you like it or not. And that's why I'd never like to like guarantee anything or lock anything or even sell picks. I think, don't want to get off on a tangent, but like this, none of this is guaranteed. Like, sure, long-term basis, like you can have a good stretch, right? But day to day, it's tough to predict day to day. Long-term, sure. But I would never want someone to risk more than they wanted to or anything like that. And that's just not what I want to be about. Let's see here. Williams over first half fantasy. So let's see this one. No. So the only time I like to change like a first half prop is when it's a prop that one looks good for the full game, but it'd be a situation like this where like Dallas, okay, so favored by 14.5 points, right? And so that'd be a situation in which maybe we go to first half here. So we've got fantasy score for Kyrie potentially, because Kyrie's been balling out since he's been with Dallas, right? And so that's annoying. There we go. That's pretty good. The worry would be obviously the final rotation, them not getting their final rotation, thus losing 6 minutes. And so this is kind of a way of attacking a potential good matchup or good prop line that we're getting, good projection that we're getting. I know his fantasy points one as a whole for the day was good. So that'd be a way in which I attack it. So I don't really like to do first half ones in which games are projected to be close. Wow, look at that. I did not see this comment before I pulled up Kyrie. That's actually good stuff. Good question. Look at that. It's like I meant to do it. I didn't. That's funny, though. Huh. No. What was did we have a first half one for that one? Okay, I gotta hurry up here. Going on an hour, which is fine. I just don't want to be too repetitive, and thus people can come back in and watch the video. Let's see here. And once again, if this is something that you guys want more of, please let me know in the comment section below after this video. And then I can, that's a good way for me to gauge if I should continue doing some live streams like this, whether this be at this time. I think this is a good time because typically speaking at around this time, we do get some refreshed odds or some good odds, and it's right before lineup lock. So sometimes, like the lines that we get, it might hurt us. This number could change to favor the over randomly. Like that could happen. But for the most part, it typically doesn't happen, especially around this time of day. So that's kind of why I've been doing it right now. Comments, let's see. Do I like LeBron at 14? I do not like LeBron at 14 now. So what are the bets of the day? Perron right now is a pretty good one that we're getting. That's probably the best one that we're getting. Perron under, what was it? 2.5 shots in goal, minus 155 right now. Decent one. De'Aaron Fox, free throw locks. Rolled off the tongue pretty well. Thank you for that. So do you guys have success with free throws? I haven't really messed around with free throws too much. To me, it's I like those lines in which it's if A happens, B is going to happen type of thing. Whereas, trying to predict foul trouble on a day-to-day basis, I don't know. I just feel like that is putting in way too many independent variables to it. So we got 2 De'Aaron Fox free throws. Hey, if you guys want to bet De'Aaron Fox free throws, by all means, you can. Yeah, Jared Allen could be in foul trouble quick. And so this is where I'm going back with like the Badger prop from yesterday, Crawl and Wall, where it would be nice to literally, and I'll pull this up here. Let's find them. Whatever. I don't want to switch to the points slide right now. It'd be you bet one over and you bet one under, especially in this situation with Mobley and Allen. So if one of them get in foul trouble, and typically like both of them don't ever coexist too much together. I mean, they do, but typically speaking, it's one player, one of them going off and the other one not. And so if we could do same team parlays like that, it would be nice, especially in this aspect like that. But obviously we can't. So this is a good point. I just want, and this is going to be a video that I'm touching on. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday, it'll be a video that I work on. It's like I came out with the Taco Tuesdays video, kind of explaining this as well. It's just going to be an extension off of that. The free squares are meant to be free money. Okay, like I would say, never bet a 3-leg, 4-leg, 5-leg bet with a free square. Take the free money. And it was because we got these 2 hockey bet locks for quite a while. A lot of people are able to benefit. And if you guys have ever wondered, in the links in the description below or in the description of the videos, I put the records in there. And part of the reason why the record's so well and the units one is, so good is that I've recommended free squares with props like the Perron one today, or like the other one earlier today that was like minus 160 to hit. And they did end up hitting, Got lucky that they all hit when I started tracking that. In full honesty, full disclosure, they're like very lucky that those all hit. But that's why it's doing well. But it's a smart, like take the free money, right? Dwight Howard. I shouldn't highlight that one. All right. Whoops. I don't think it pulled up. Good. We appreciate it. Man, I appreciate you guys. I do. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Really, honestly. PrizePicks community is the best. It really is. Unmatched. Live streams Tuesday. We can try. Kyrie over 25. I do like Kyrie. I think attacking it first half is the way to go. I don't mind it. Zach Collins. Yeah, I like Zach Collins. I was thinking fantasy points for Zach Collins. I know I'm playing him in DFS. It gives me something to enjoy it each day. Yeah, so honestly, I feel like this is a good time of day to do it. It's before some of the NBA live streams and even the live stream that I do on Occupy Fantasy as well, which is something that I would do this video and then do that one. So you guys would be able to catch me in there. It's typically at like 3:30, 3:15, so it's a good way to go about that. White. I don't know if we can target Derek White anymore. Just with Jaylen Brown back, I think Malcolm Brogdon's there. Lillard is unlikely to play. What? No, really? I have to. I definitely need to end soon so I can change some DFS builds then. I'm not seeing that yet. Clarkson under fantasy score. It's because it's pretty high, right? It's not an appealing number there for Jordan Clarkson. But if he does get around 36 minutes, which he probably should or so, I would say more times than not, especially in the matchup, he should be able to get over 34 against OKC, 34.5. More times than not in this matchup, given this current situation, he should be able to get over. It's just ugly that 4 out of the past 5 times he hasn't gone there, but the situation was different. Colin Sexton was there. Colin Sexton's been balling out. I like KCP blocks and steal. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that. It's not a bad idea. I've seen Clarkson under points. So I feel like the Clarkson stuff is, I get it. It's not appealing. It's the matchup play. So maybe with the amount of negative comments towards Clarkson, we just don't make that bet. I'd be fine with that. And this is the nice part about doing a live stream is like we can kind of talk it through, right? MPJ over 2.5 3-pointers made. I'd rather do the fantasy points. Like if he's going to make 3 3-pointers, that's 9 points. He's doing other stuff, then that means he's having a good game and whatnot. That's probably the approach I would go with. I mean, I don't hate it. Okay. And Jeremy Grant. So Lillard and Jeremy Grant out. Let's see. Are those even here anymore? They're probably not. Let's see. Oh, they're not there. Okay, so let's just talk about this. Let me pull up the data on that real quick as well. Give me 30 seconds here. So both Jeremy Grant and Lillard out. That is huge. So we might get some fancy points or something that we can do once this updates. Wow, that's crazy. What a way to start out. Welcome back to NBA DFS, right? That's pretty crazy. All right, let's see. All right, so the most minutes with Lillard off the court, all right, is Sharp, actually, with Lillard and Grant off the court, Sharp. Yusuf's out as well. What is going on? That already happened. We already knew that, actually. But Simons, I got to get that. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a terrible sample size. Let's just see. And guys, I'm just using RotoWire on off court right now, just on my second screen, just so it doesn't distract. Okay, we have 100. The most minutes that we have is 105 going into the sample. So it's Grant out, Lillard out, Yusuf out, and Simons out. Okay. So not a big sample size at all. Very cautious here, okay? It would be Sharp. Sharp to me is probably the move that we're going to have to do. The question is how many points are they going to project him at? Okay? Per 36 with those 4 players off the court averages 14.9 points and about 20 fantasy points per 36. And I would probably say he would get around 36 minutes or so. Maybe. Cam Reddish, is he going to play? Oh my gosh. Knicks fans are going to love that. Matthias. I know DFS wise, NBA DFS wise, he was just chalk. Wow. This is not pretty. Not pretty at all. And actually, this is crazy. The second most minutes with those 4 off the court, which is a terrible sample size, once again, is Keon Johnson. And he averages 32 points per 36, which not a big sample size. It's 100 minutes going into that. So a third of the minutes, which is not good, and 17 points. I'm going to pull up the projected starting lineup real quick as well. That's crazy. It is Sharp expected to start. So we might get a good line on Sharp, and I don't think we are. We probably won't until after the first game's lock, so they can kind of do some data validations with that. That's crazy. Maybe Little as well. Now, I think Cam Reddish and Sharp would be the move. Very interesting. Okay, so I pretty much caught up here. I'm struggling with LeBron and AD. I kind of want to see how they're going to be after the All-Star break. Just kind of some weird stuff happening. Obviously, Westbrook being traded and whatnot. Their usage rate should go up. They should be consistent producers. I just kind of want to take the wait and see approach. That's also the nice thing about something like PrizePicks and Underdog is the simple fact that you don't really need to force anything ever. Whether if you're someone that plays DraftKings or FanDuel every day, you kind of do. Okay, so we got a question about Dennis Schroeder. Points and assists, 10. It's a decent number. It's a pretty decent number. He has definitely stepped up into a bigger role with Westbrook out. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Let me see if I have him projected for minutes. Once again, like this is a prop-based tool, so I don't think we have that. I need to refresh this. I don't think we have anything going into that just yet for Dennis. Yeah, nothing in there just yet for Dennis Schroeder. Okay. What do you think about SGA? SGA is a stud. That's what I think about him. I'm sure you probably mean for like fantasy points or something. I'm kind of worried about SGA a little bit because he is at like a ceiling right now, and he had been going off because Alexei was out, because Dort was out, and because James Earl Robinson was out, which was a weird kind of reason as to why he was going off, but like it kept happening, and it's like production kept going up, and maybe he just kind of met a new norm in his game. Maybe the play change. I don't know. I didn't follow that like that much, but literally when Robinson, Earl, Alexei, and Dort were out for that month or so, that's when SGA really went off. So now that Dort and Alexei are both back, that worries me a little bit. I can't, like, it's another one. Like, we don't need to force stuff. And so probably just taking the wait and see approach on that. And that's just such a high number. Like, he should be able to go off against Utah. Don't get me wrong. If you want to use him in maybe a stack, that'd probably be the route in which I would go. You take it on interns? No, I'm not taking on interns. That's funny, though. I mean, there are some things in which, like, data-wise, I could use help on, but no, I don't want to burden anyone with that for sure. Do you like pulp over points? KCP? Yes and no. I honestly, in the comment section below after this video or in the chat, you guys let me know, because the projections were saying don't play him. Okay. 7.9 or so points projected. But this is also the reason why I want to start pumping in some per 36 numbers based off of some injuries. And it wouldn't be per 36. I'd be taking those per 36 numbers, dividing them by 36, and then times them by the projected minutes. That's what I want to do. I just haven't figured out a great way to do that and then like upload it quickly throughout the day, because obviously NBA DFS stuff changes so fast, right? And so if I can figure out a way to do that in a timely manner that I can do every day, I want to do that. And so if we were to include that for KCP, I'm sure his projection would be closer to 9.5 points. It's at like minus 140 to be over 9.5 points. So yes, that would suggest that it is a good number. Let's see if there's any other bets that we can make for Pope. And so that's just me, where I want the data to be checking all the boxes, if that makes sense. So I'll pull it up here. Huh, did they bump this? It might have. Did they change this? It's not pulling up right now. Interesting. We'll see. I'll have to check that after this. Yeah, I want the projection and everything to correlate together, in which it tells us it's a really strong bet. Like if I had to rate it, which is stupid, so I'm not going to do that. Never mind. It's a decent bet. I don't want to talk anyone off of it. If they like it, sure. Yeah, Simons is out, isn't he? Simons is out, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I thought he was out. Yeah, Simons is out. So it's sharp. It's sharp and reddish. Giddy, points, rebounds, and assists. I think Giddey was actually projected to get under points, rebounds, and assists. Simons is out, yeah. It's just the day in the life of a capper. I've actually wanted to do a video on this. I think it'd be kind of fun. I think it'd be fun to kind of have the open door of how my day-to-day goes. It's a lot of just staring at screens and staring at data. Honestly, that's all it really is. And then putting out content, making videos. I enjoy it. Obviously, I don't know if everyone else would. Perron just got bumped. He just got bumped. We knew it was coming, right? We knew it was coming. Finally. All right. Yeah, so I've been wanting to do a live stream. It's just I need to set it up and everything. My computer can't take going live on how I produce my videos, which is Streamlabs or Streamlabs OBS. If any of you guys are familiar with that, or OBS, sorry. If any of you guys are familiar with that, you know what I'm saying. My computer would be screaming at me if I did that there. So I had to set up this, and I finally was able to. 3 NBA picks today. Well, I personally like Michael Porter Jr. over fantasy points. The Banchero under rebounds was a good one as well. I'm not sure if we're still getting that number. And then the Miles Turner one was interesting. I still think it probably changed. It might not be there. Those Miles Turner points, 16.5. But no, never mind. I scratch the Miles Turner one. I got 2. Those are the 2 I'm giving you. That's the thing. I don't like giving out. I like giving out information for people to be able to decide what they want to do with it. I don't like saying these are my picks. I get too stressed out when I do that. Like if they miss, I just feel like shit. So that's why I don't like to use the lock word. That's why I don't like to just say, these are my picks. I'll do like today's bets because they're like the best odds, and typically speaking, they'll hit, but that's why I don't do that. Jamal Murray, 11.5 points first half. I believe that game is projected to stay close, so I probably wouldn't do that. Let's see. Yeah, so I only like to do first half points if the game is projected to be a blowout. Does OKC being healthy? Yeah, so like I was kind of saying, like with OKC, I'm very much worried about, or taking a backseat approach. I want to see what happens with them. And that's once again, that's the beauty of PrizePicks and Underdog, is that you don't have to force bets in there. So yeah, I'm definitely waiting to see with them healthy now. Yeah, Hachimura over rebounds was an interesting one. I do like that. So we did have a question about. So okay, the chat is saying Hachimura over rebounds is the 3rd NBA bet. I'm fine with that. It is popping a decent amount. Just based off of the 2 minutes of research I did on it. Full disclosure. But that's based off of prior knowledge and whatnot. I'd much rather get that based off of data, though. Okay, XFL. Yeah, I like Jesse's comment here. Stay away from XFL. Honestly, like we do not have a good sample size on this. And like, one bet I felt good about and I didn't share it because I didn't want to was Kalen Ballage, like over rushing yards, and he went off. I'm like, Kalen Ballage is actually a pretty good runner. He's just doesn't have the top end speed to be a NFL running back. He's literally Todd Gurley without the top end speed. So Todd Gurley his last year. So for XFL, that's pretty good. But yeah, I like to do stuff that you can predict, stuff that we have data on. So that's why I don't like covering XFL too much. Josh Gordon. It is fun. I would say XFL is actually pretty fun. More fun this year than I thought it would be. Pool points and assists. Let's see here. I feel like they pushed him up finally, because remember before the break we were getting like free squares on this. Yeah, it's properly up there right now. I mean, it's per 36 with Curry off the court is like 27 points, and he does average over the assist as well. Like he does average over the 36 if you combine the 2 points and assist, but yeah, I'm not touching that because he has been riding hot for us, and it's literally that's just got to miss one time. I don't think PrizePicks is that wrong. 5 straight slates in a row, right? Okay, guys, I got to get out of here. I apologize. We got a lot of questions coming in, and I gotta get out. So I appreciate everyone being in here. I am going to switch the screen here, take off the comment here. But I really appreciate everyone being in here. It was a fun live stream. I'll probably do this more consistently as well. It seems like everyone enjoyed it. If you did, once again, just let me know in the comment section below. It'll be fun. I enjoy it. I think you guys did as well. Hopefully we have some winners. Hopefully the NHL bets hit. And maybe I'll set up a screen in which we can see my top plays. Maybe the right-hand side or something. I can have a graphic up there throughout the video that kind of highlights that. Just an idea. Obviously, whatever gets you guys the best information. I'll try that. Once again, this is the first live stream covering this stuff. So appreciate you guys being here. Let's have a good slate. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.